Good morning, StreamYard and YouTube fans. This is Philip Reynolds. This is a new channel for me because recently I got a new phone, and when I went to try to transfer my information over, I wasn't able to do so. So I had to deal with all the stuff that coincides with not being able to do that, which took me a while. And also, as you know, I've had mic problems. I think with the help of my friend from church, and his name's Joseph, he was able to help me and get me fixed up so that I could actually broadcast and you can actually hear me. It's very frustrating to want to do what you love to do and you can't because of technical difficulties and that. Today, up right there is my new dice tower, and it looks a lot like Rob's, but as you can see, it comes apart in two pieces, and it only cost me about $25 or so, so it's not as expensive as Rob's. And here today we have the 1921 Yankees versus the 1969 Mets. We have Tom Seaver versus Carl Mays, and we are using the for the Mets. We are using Game 4 lineup, and for the 1921 Yankees, we are using the Game 1 lineups for the Yankees. Game 1 of the regular season, I should say. We have Fuster, Peckinpah, Ruth, Pip, Musil, Bodie, Ward, Shang, and Mays as the lineup for the Yankees. We got Agee, Harrelson, Jones, Clendenin, Swoboda, Charles, Grote, Weiss, and Seaver for the Mets. And this is my tribute for Tom Seaver. I knew him more as a Rad than I did a Met, although I know that the Seaver-Ryan combo were like, if you had to face them back to back, it was not pretty at all. And if you see the payoff pitch come with the little meeples that look like Tabletop Sports Delaware, and they're in his favorite color as well, yellow, for the Pirates. We are playing at Shea Stadium today, and with that being said, we will roll for the first inning. Fuster is up, and I will switch the camera. There we go. All right. Oh, re-roll that. I didn't get all of that. Okay. That is in play, and that is 94. And that's a fly out to left field. Okay. Peckinpah is up. And that is also a 7 in play. And that will be a fly out to right field. And that brings up Ruth for the first time. That is a tough. And that's 97. And that will be a fly out to right field as well. So the Yankees are 3 up, 3 down in the first. That will take us to the Mets, bottom of the first, and the Mets half. Yes. Oh, well. And that takes us to Tommy Aggie. That will be in play. And that is 56. That will be a ground ball to the third baseman. And that would be Ward. Brings up Harrelson. That is in play, and that's 82. And that will be a ground ball to the shortstop. That brings up Cleon Jones. And that is an 8, which is patient. 25 patient. And that will be a base on balls. Jones walks. And for the first time, For the first time, we have a runner at first. Okay. Don Clendenin is up. It's in play, 43. And that will be a pop-up to the shortstop. The Mets were able to get a runner on, but they weren't able to get any action going, so to speak. So that will take us to the top of the first, and that brings us with Wally Pipp up. Oh. All right, let's see. That is a tough 23. Yes. Tough 23, and that is a triple. So Wally Pip gets a triple off of that. That brings up Bob Musil. And that's tough out. And 30 will be a strikeout. He strikes out. First strikeout of the game. Brings up Ping Bodie. That's in the wheelhouse. And that is a 68. And that would be a ground ball to the second base. And I don't think that will let's see. Yeah, I don't think that warrants him Wally Pip scoring from third. So we will go to our next batter, Ward. That is Patient. And that is 43. And that will be a triple. So that makes Pip score. And Ward gets a triple. That puts the Yankees on top 1-0. Wally Shang is up. That is a tough, and that's a 98. And that will be a fly out to left field, and that will be the end of the inning. So at the end of 2, the Yankees are up 1-0 thanks to 2 triples. And we are going to the bottom of the second with Ron Swoboda up for the Mets. And we will see if the Mets can even the score up here for Tom Seaver. All right. And let's see. That's in play, and that is a 12. And that will be a single for Swoboda. That brings Ed Charles to the plate. Swoboda's at first. Up. Right, and that is Patient, and that is an 8, and that will be a base on balls. And that will bring Jerry Grote to the plate with nobody out. And that is in play. 37 will be a ground out to the pitcher. And that will move the runners over to second and third. So second, third, one out, and Weiss is up. And that's in play. 17. That will be a single, so we'll have man at first, third, and Pip will score. I mean, not Pip, I'm sorry, but Swoboda will score. So Weiss gets a single. And that will bring Seaver to the plate. And that's in play. 83 will be a ground out to the second baseman. His double play is 9. So that will be, that'll be double play ball there. And that will end the inning, but the Mets come back and tie things up at the end of 2. And at the end of 2, the Mets tie everything up. And we will go to the top of the third inning. Okay. Carl Mays is up, pitcher for the Yankees. And that is a tough 34. And that will be a pop up to the second baseman. And that will bring us back to the top of the lineup. Fuster, and that is a 7. That's in play. 8, and that will be a double for Fuster. Okay. Peckinball is up, and that will be tough out. 94, and that will be a fly out to left field. Babe Ruth is up. And that will be in play. 96, and that will be a fly out to right. And that is the end of the third, top of the third, and that will take us to the top of the order for the Mets and the bottom of the ninth. Which means we will see Tommy Agee for the Mets. That's in play. 72, and that will be a ground out to second. And that will put up Bud Harrelson. And that's in play. 52. And that will be fly out the left. Fly out the right. Let's bring up Cleon Jones. And that's in play. And that's 13. And that will be a single for Cleon Jones. Brings us to Don Clendenin. And that's a patient. 72. And that will be a fly out to center. And that will end the bottom of the third. So after 3 innings, it's still tied 1-1. And we are up to Wally Pipp. And this is where the Yankees scored in the in the second inning. So we're going back through the section where the Yankees scored. So we will see how they fare in this inning. Right. And that is in the wheelhouse. And that's a 21. Oh, Wally Pipp just hits a home run. Because if you look at his card and in the wheelhouse and right there at the top, it's 1-25, and he got a 21. So Wally Pipp hits a home run and puts the Yankees back up in the lead. And that will put up Bob Musil. And that's tough out. 32, and that is a strikeout for Musil. Second strikeout for him today. Which takes us to Ping Bodie. And that will be in play. 74, and that will be a fly out to center. Okay. Aaron Ward's next. And that is a rare play. All right, so there's nobody on. We'll roll for the rare play. All right, so this is the first rare play and live play for me. And that will be an 8. It says rain delay. Roll 1 to 10. If 0 to 2, game is rained out. If 3 to 5, lengthening delay. Replace current pitchers. 6 to 9, no effect on game. Ignore if game played in dome. So that's not the case here. And we have a 7. So it according to this, that's a 7, and there is no rain delay. So we bypassed possible rare play there, which means we will check the ward here, and that is patient 48, and that will be a single for ward. Moving Wally Shang up. All right. And that will be tough out. And 62 will be a fly ball to left field. And that will end the inning. Sorry, not left field, but right field, because it's a 9. But going into the bottom of the 4th, the Yankees, thanks to Wally Pipp, just took the lead back, and score is 2-1. That takes us to Swoboda here. That is a 5. That'll be in play 28, and that will be a single for Swoboda. That'll take us to Ed Charles. Let's go back down to the dice tower and take a look at how things are there. Okay, that will be in play 49, and that will be a ground ball to third, and that means that Swoboda moved to second. Okay. Jerry Grote. And this will be a defense check. I have to be honest, guys. I have a hard time with the defense and the range checks. So this will take me a little bit. Take a look at my charts here. And defense 93 will be a left fielder. And in this case, that is Ruth. And he is a C3. Yeah. And this is where I do not know where I'm looking for as far as the charts go. Well, it says to re-roll and look at appropriate, so we'll do that. and that would be that's Groot, and that's Tough 64, and that's going to be ground out to the second baseman. So and that will keep Swoboda at second, and that will take us to Weiss. Okay. Oh, I have to re-roll that. And that's in play 38. And that's pop up to the second baseman, and that will be the end of the fourth inning. Takes us to the fifth inning, and that brings up Mays, the pitcher. And let's see here. Well, he's good for 9 innings, so we don't have to worry too much about fatigue in that right now. So we will go back and check how he does at the box. All right. That would be a tough out. 63. That would be a fly out to left field. Okay. Takes us to the top of the inning. And that Chick Fuster will be up at the bat. It's tough out. And 7. And that will be a strikeout. And that will be Tom's third strikeout. Peckinpah. That will be in play, 48. And that will be a line out to second. And that will be the end of the fifth, top of the fifth. And that will take us to Seaver's at bat in the bottom of the fifth. And that is in the wheelhouse. And that, oh wow, it's in Seaver's wheelhouse, but that is a pop up to the third baseman for Seaver. And that take us to the top of the order with AG. Tommy AG. That's in play. 84, and that will be ground out to shortstop. That'll bring us to Bud Harrelson. That will be our first check to the ballpark. 69 is in play. In play 69, and that will be a fly out to center field. And after 5 innings of play, it's the 1921 Yankees 2 and the 1969 Mets 1. We're in the top of the 6th. We are looking at Ruth at the plate. And that will be in the wheelhouse. And a 51. And that will be a home run for Babe Ruth. All right. So Ruth gets a home run. And that brings us up to Wally Pipp, who also had a home run. And it was the go-ahead run at the time. So he pretty much stands to be the MVP if things continue. That's in play. And that's a 91. And that will be a ground out to second. Takes us to Bob Musial. Tough out, 95. And that will be a fly out to left field. Okay. Ping Bodie here. That will be in play, 60. And that will be a ground out to the second baseman. Okay, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Ruth was able to get an extra run in by his wheelhouse home run. So the score is now 3-1. And that will take us to the bottom of the 6th with Cleon Jones up to the plate for the Mets. All right. That's in play, 46. And that will be a ground out to the third baseman. We go to Don Clendenin. It's in play, 43. And that's a pop-up to the shortstop. Takes us to Swoboda. And that's in play, and that is 80. And that will be a fly out to center field. Okay. And as much as I hate to say it, with the Yankees up 3-1, I'm going to have to check out my pitchers for the Mets. Oh, here they are. Take a look at. We're going to bring in Cal Kuntz to replace Seaver. I know that's sad to say, but the Mets are down 3-1, and it's time to bring in a new pitcher. I know, I hate to do that, but we're going to. And Cal Kuntz will face Ward, Shang, and Carl Mays. Yeah, Mets want to try to get back in this game in its 7th inning, so figure see if they can do it with a new pitcher. And well, Aaron Ward's up, and that is Patient 51, and that will be a ground ball to first base. Bring up Shang, Wally Shang. 5, and that is tough, and that is 30, and that will be a strikeout. And that brings us to Carl Mays. Here. And that is a 6, that is tough, and that is 18, and that is also a strikeout. And that takes us to the bottom of the 7th. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, and pretty much, like I said, if things continue this way, Wally Pipp would be the MVP because he got the home run in the 4th that put the Yankees ahead, followed by the home run by Babe Ruth in the 6th. Pretty much got a single, a base on balls, and Weiss got a single to drive in Swoboda, and that's how the Mets got their run. And we are going to the bottom of the 7th, and Ed Charles is your batter for the Mets. All right, Ed Charles. Oh, we roll that because all of them didn't go in. And that will be defense. And 75 on defense. The shortstop. Well, it says re-roll, so re-roll, see what comes up. And then that's in play. 17 will be a single for Ed Charles. Okay. So that brings up Jerry Grote. Four is in play, 31. And that will be a pop-up to first base. Takes us to Al Weiss. Okay. That is Patient. 36. And that will be a ground ball to the pitcher, which will move Charles to second. And Kuntz is batting card 11. So we will have to change batter's cards here. Okay, change batter's card. And continue on. And that is in play. And that is an 8, and that will be a single. So we have men on first and third. Okay. And that will take us back to the top of the lineup. That will be Tom Agee. And I think the Yankees want to go to their bullpen now. And I can't use Ruth. They will use Rip Collins as their pitcher choice. And see how Aggie does. And that will be a patient 2. And that will load the bases. Bases are loaded. Bud Harrelson is up. And the score is 2-1. And that is a ballpark. And 77 will be in play. Okay. And that will be a fly out to left field. And that ends the inning. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, that's a fly out to center field. But okay. The Mets come close to scoring and leave the bases loaded, but no scoring is done, and it's still 3-1. And we go to the top of the Mets order, which means Chick Fuster is back up, and we'll take you back down to the dice tower. That is tough. 78, and that will be a fly out to center field. Yes, fly out to center field. Roger Peckinpah paw is up. And that will be patient. 84, and that will be a ground ball to the shortstop. And that brings up Ruth. Can he get another home run? And that is in play. 86, and that will be a ground ball to the second baseman. Okay. We're going to Cleon Jones for the bottom of the 8th for the Mets. Let's see how this works. That will be tough. 26, and that will be a strikeout. And that's hard to believe, but that's the Yankees' first strikeout of the game. All right. That takes us to Don Clendenin. And that will be a defense. 71. Third base. That's patient in 73. And that's going to be fly out to center. So that's 2 away. And that takes us to Swoboda. And that will be in the wheelhouse. And that is 50. And that will be a single for Swoboda. So that keeps the Mets' hopes alive. Takes us to Charles. Okay. And that will be patient. And that will be 48. And that will also be a single. We have men at first and second now. Okay. That will bring us to Jerry Grote. And that will be patient. 44, and that will load the bases. Also a single. Jeez. That did not go well for the Yankees. Oh, they're going to bring in Hoyt. I believe Hoyt is their closer, so bring in the closer here. And that will be a tough 49. And that will be a single. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, we'll have to take a look at that again. Tough 49. That's a strikeout because I hadn't switched batters, but that's a strikeout, and we'll leave 3 men on base for the Mets, unfortunately. Okay. Which brings us to Wally Pipp in the 9th here. Top of the 9th, Wally Pipp, and this is where where he started it early in the 2nd, and we'll see if they can score some more runs or not. That is a 4. That's Patient. That's 57. And that will be a single for Wally Pip. Brings up Musil. Eight. That's in play. And that's a 94. That will be a fly out to left. Bring up Ping Bodie. And that is a ballpark. And that's 51. That's in play. In play 51 for Bodie will be a fly out to right. And that brings up Aaron Ward. And that is 7. In play 84 will be a ground out to second base. And that will end the inning. And with pitcher due up, in the bottom of the ninth, the Mets will let's see if I can recognize any of these. They will bring up Ed Kranepool to be the batter in question here. Okay. All right. Let's go down to the dice tower. That will be an in play 34. That will be a pop up to the shortstop. Okay, that brings top of the order with Aggie up. Five, that's in play. And that will be ground out to the pitcher. Harrelson up for the final out of the final chance for the Mets here. And that will be in play 32. And that's a ground ball to the pitcher. Well, and there you go, my friends. It's a close game. Pretty much your 2 home runs by Pip and Ruth are the difference in this game. So Pip gets the MVP, and that came in the 4th inning, and Ruth came in the 6th, and pretty much a couple singles for the Mets in the 2nd gave them their single run, and they had a chance late in the 8th to tie the game up and go ahead because they had the bases loaded, but nothing came of it. And so as a result, the 1921 Yankees win by a score of 3-1. And that's our tribute to Tom Seaver. I hate to take Seaver out in the 7th inning, but the way I looked at it, he was down 3-1, and as a result, basically the Mets needed a fresh arm, fresh legs, so I went ahead and took Seaver out, and it didn't really change the outcome of the game. So this is my premiere episode of Preyz Sports Network, the Preyz Sports Network. I will have probably a little episode later this afternoon regarding fantasy football, because as you can tell, this isn't my apartment. This is my sister's house. I'm at my sister's for fantasy football today, and I will do a little inside of kind of my take on who I want to draft and this, that, and the other thing later. But this was a tribute to Tom Seaver. Like I said, I knew him more as a Red than I did a New York Met, and I know that when you had Ryan and Seaver together, they were an unstoppable combination. Not many teams could beat one, if not both, pitchers. So if you had them back to back, whether it was in a World Series, playoff, or regular season, you might beat one, but you weren't going to beat both of them. Or if you did, it would be very, very rare. So I hope you enjoyed today's game. If you did, please subscribe, please like. And the reason I say that is my other channel isn't, my Pavilion channel is no longer in operation. This is a brand new channel, brand new email. And so I hope you enjoy your days, guys. Tom Seaver, rest in peace. He was a great Red. He was a great Met. He's one of the best pitchers I know of. In my day, I would have to say, Seaver, Rio, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez. Those are just some of the names that come to mind when you think of great pitchers. And he'll be missed. So take care and have a good day, guys.